Hey, this is Tony from Tony Technology, and I wanted to tell you a bit about my project and show you a bit about how it works. Firstly, this is a project I did in my spare time for fun, based on me wanting to find out a bit about automated news and what it would look like. Originally this project started as something very small, and it slowly transitioned into something a bit bigger. I have written a blog post about it that I was quite keen to share, and you can see that here. So the time I uploaded 3,000 videos to YouTube, I have literally uploaded more than 3,000 videos to YouTube in this project. And I was thinking, possibly, the best thing I could do to actually show you this project is create the video and play it to you. So here is my creation pipeline. I have a fast API that I wrote. It's able to take in a URL and then create a video for it. So I'm going to go through that process here. I noticed that I already had prep done. We'll take that away. And now we can see that the video creation process is kicked off. I do mention a lot more about this in the article with what's going on and how it all works, but you can take a read through for more of that. So some of the stats: there's been 1,500 hours of watch time, 568 subscribers, 370,000 views, and yeah, it's been quite a journey. You can see got pretty much organic growth the whole way through. I didn't talk about this little dip over here. It was a community strike that I got for just using a word and not actually breaking any community guidelines, but I did contest it and they took that away. And quite a cool thing about that, added a feature to my project in the end where I actually added the ability to just filter out certain words. So if I saw certain words in my generated videos, then I'd know that I wanted to stop. So here we go. Actually, the best person who could tell you about this project will in all likelihood be the lady herself. And I will just be required to find that file. And let's upload it to YouTube. What better way to show you the process than to actually go through the process? So content, I'm going to create a new video, I'm going to upload. In this case, it's from my desktop. Just drag and drop it in. So quite often I'll end up needing to change some of the data. So let's check. That actually looks like it came out pretty fine. And for the summary, this is going to need a bit of work. So the new lines are going to have to actually be new lines. New line with a new line, replace all, wrap around. This doesn't feel like it worked. Search backwards. There we go. Okay, live demos are always amazing. Back to YouTube, we'll put our description in. 1 or 2 text issues here. And that is almost everything I need to do for this. Next, next, next. We're going to make this public, and the world will be able to see this video. Okay, so let me show you the video. I'll let the lady talk through it.
The time I uploaded 3,000 videos to YouTube, TTECH. The story of the automation journey I went on to create an entire YouTube channel with 3,000 videos. Over 300,000 views and over 500 subscribers in 6 months. P.S. I didn't advertise or cheat for subs or views. A completely true and not too sensationalist title for my project that got a bit out of control and while it was meant to be a man automating the machine project. At some points, I felt like I was a cog doing the machine's work. The idea was about curating content from the web, summarizing pertinent facts and putting it all together in a news show type format. Content on one side and someone on the side talking through it as if it was a real person.
So that is the basics of what I was trying to accomplish. So you'll see that she just read the first bit, which was kind of the summary that she was given. You can see the whole channel at Tony Technology. You'll see here 583 subs, so it's gone up a bit since the last time I showed it. And then videos, you can't see this here, but there are over 3,000 videos uploaded. And then if we just view by most popular, you'll see Tesla, Motorola were two really, really good videos. They hit over 6,000 views. That happens very fast. And then outside of that, like 1,000 views is pretty good for me. There's about 10% of the views come from not shorts. And so originally this project was going to be just a single video a day with a whole bunch of different videos in it. And I quickly decided not to do that when I saw that the YouTube Shorts was coming out. And I thought this might be a cool way to actually do something in that area with a new YouTube product. So initially I looked at Hacker News and I thought it would be great to get articles from them, and they had an API that they allow you access to. So I managed to get articles from Hacker News as the first port of call, which was very cool. You can find their API here, github.com, Hacker News API. And then on the back of that, I actually built an RSS reader into the application, so you can feed it an RSS URL and it'll go and get all the different stories from that, which is really cool because Google search alerts will actually let you set up searches for certain things, like if I was interested in Tesla or SpaceX or some sort of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin or Ethereum or Monero, then I can set up Google searches for those with RSS feeds. And then I can have those load into the application, and it'll only generate the new videos. It's something I put in relatively early on. And I can also blacklist certain websites and certain terms. So you can pretty reliably use these RSS feeds, which is quite cool. So there's just a bit about RSS. Real simple syndication is the name I know it by. And then the next part was creating the video of something to look at. And so the way I did this, I actually used the Qt browser plugin or scripting language. And so in Python, I import the Qt application and I self-run it, set it up, get it going, and then actually store the screenshots on disk. I need the summary of the article, which I also found a Python library that was able to do for me. Also provide attribution, so it's always a place that I got the URL from. So it'll be a link to the actual article that I generated it from, and then a link to the underlying newsfeed that I got it from. So if it came from the Ars Technica's RSS feed, then that is always provided, as well as a link to the article. What's interesting is these aren't actually the links that they provide on their website. They have fully named links, and this is like a page or article link. And so it's interesting when you need to look it up, or sometimes I've found an article that I was curious about making a video about, and then to find out actually already loaded it. Next one was text-to-speech. Text-to-speech was kind of fun. I did try a whole bunch of different mechanisms for this. I didn't find anything that blew me away other than the first text-to-speech engine I found.
Linux, macOS,
which is the one that you heard in my demo earlier. I've also got a prototype that was, it's a nicer voice, but you know, it just kind of killed it for me when it said core E5 and RAM. So I'll play a bit of this one as well.
Linux, Mac OS, and Windows running simultaneously on 1st Gen Core i5.
It's that core E5. And so you can trust me or come listen to this later. It's RAM at the like when it says RAM, and yeah, I couldn't take that either. Not to bash them, I think the voice sounds amazing, and it would probably definitely fool people way better than the one that I did end up using, but it really wasn't perfect for my needs. Just to show that, it's not an easy thing to be doing, and these guys are doing amazing work. I decided to do a word level speech generation. I figured if I could cover like a couple thousand words, I'd probably be able to create articles, and then actually, I could also, just have something that would tell me the words I needed to read for the articles, and then hope for eventually getting some sort of completion on it. So let's see how that came out. A fool and his horse are soon parted. A fool and his horse are soon parted. It seems pretty personal. And then, like, an interesting thing about language, there's a thing called phonemes, which are the specific sounds that make up a word. And there's actually not that many of them. There's only I think it's like 30 or 40 for the English language, as far as I understand it. I think they do have a lot of different inflections, but I was using some speech recognition software to actually take a whole bunch of text that I had read and then pull phonemes out of it and then put those together to form words again later. And I think the way I described it over here, it's kind of like a ransom letter written with the different letter cutouts from a magazine as a voice. So it's terrifying. I apologize if it offends you, but give it a listen. Okay, so I did have someone tell me that they could kind of recognize that it was potentially my voice, but very, very scary to listen to. So originally, you'll see the video that I created now that we watched together at the start doesn't actually have a talking human head in it, which is quite sad. But the first couple thousand videos that I did all actually had a machine learning animated face on them, which was synced to the audio that was created by the text-to-speech engine, and I really liked it. But most people said it distracted from the news that I was trying to serve just because it was either uncanny valley or because the one eye was closed, and yeah, people were kind of rude about it, but it's gone. I replaced it with a spinning logo instead. Let's just take a look at the head quick, so just you can see it in action.
The Motorola Moto G Stylus 5G is a good phone with a too short shelf life. Performance is good. 2. Jumping between apps is quick and smooth. And heavier tasks like zooming in and out of Google.
So that's one of my more popular videos. That's one that got the 6,500 views. I showed it earlier. You can see the faces kind of in that whole uncanny valley. So yeah, it's probably a good thing it went. And then putting all the pieces together, that was super fun. It was basically a lot of FFmpeg code and bash scripting, and my screenshotting code sometimes fails, so I actually run that in a separate Python script. The machine learning involves a lot of SciPy and the NVIDIA CUDA SDK and a couple other things. And then actually even putting the videos together is a lot of wizardry type Python scripting I found of FFmpeg. I do use the actual FFmpeg libraries for Python to get the view time at one point, because I need to know how long to make the video, to how long to scroll it for, and how long the MP3 talking is, and that all needs to go together. So that's all in there, but for the actual getting there you can see the probing for the duration. But then for actually doing the video, I found it easier. I was just building the command with the command line, so I had all of these discrete videos that I wanted to put together. And so I took all the videos, I put them together, and then was able to upload that afterwards. So what did I get wrong? I didn't add a database right at the start. That kind of sucked, because adding in and later I had to go and retrofit everything, and because I didn't have the database at the start, I was kind of just inherently tying my steps together using files rather than sort of a state machine type processing. And so that was, not great. But it also, once I got it in there, it made the processing of the videos that I was uploading every day a lot easier. and it was part of the avoiding duplication that I needed to do. Monitoring, I didn't get my monitoring right. It's a big part of what I do in my day-to-day job. So maybe it was just the reason I thought I could avoid it or wanted to avoid it. But I'll give myself a small slap on the wrist and just, get your monitoring in there from the start. It works. And it's actually the same with Dockerizing. So putting your whole application into a virtual stack and getting it running and working there, and keep it working there. I mean, do your local development, and whenever you've like proof of concept a piece of code and you work out that you actually need a certain library, then go ahead and add it into some sort of virtualized environment. Docker is not necessarily the one you have to use, like Kubernetes or something else would be appropriate, but I'm familiar with Docker, so beast I know. You'll see that in my case, I actually did eventually retrofit my Windows version to run off of this one, which is just like a stock virtual machine that I've now uploaded into, and you'll see, yeah, it runs fine, but I wish it was Dockerized, because then I would fire it off on my home server and run it there. It needs a little bit of monitoring and niggery here to keep it going. So things I got right. You can see the first thing, I did manage to upload 3,000 news videos, over 370,000 views, and 1,500 hours of view time. I'm very proud of those metrics. And a lot of people do give positive comments, so hopefully you're one of the people who do enjoy the videos. And I will keep doing it for a while, I think. We'll see. It has been 6 months already, and this is kind of potentially the end of the project and moving on to another one, but we'll see. The pivot was with the YouTube Shorts, which I mentioned earlier. I haven't talked too much about Fast API. It's the first time I used it. Wow. It was a lot of fun getting up and running with that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think it's like a great tool for writing APIs or framework. Breaking up the projects and loosely coupling them, that's definitely something that I felt I got right. So the screenshotting was separate, the tagging was separate, avoiding certain websites, when the building up the text-to-speech, that's like a little separate, module. So once I had the database for the passing information around between pieces and kind of use it like a more state machine type flow, then it was quite easy to start building retry mechanisms and fatal failures and deduplications and stuff. So that was cool. I mentioned a bit about what I learned. I can maybe and the Telegram bot is something that was quite cool that I threw in at the end. So I can actually just ask it to make me a video. This is one of my other blog posts from ttech.mamakos.media, and you can go and paste a URL, and then after a little while it will go and fetch the video. Little while. I think it takes about a minute. And then
building your own game console.
And that was kind of cool. That was fun. I thought it was going to be a lot more useful. I was going to post a whole bunch of URLs to Telegram as I was browsing the web every day and have those going to the video stream. I found it actually wasn't necessary, but that's fine. Running the YouTube channel, that was cool, but I always thought like maybe it was a goal to see how hard it would be to monetize a channel that I was programmatically generating videos from. I'm manually uploading them most of the time, so it is a like curated custom content project, but the shorts traffic unfortunately doesn't count towards your monetization. So like I said, it's only like 10% of it, so it's 135 hours out of the 4,000 required. It seems like I do need to do a couple other things like turning on two-step verification and hit the 1,000 subs. And this one popped up recently. I don't know if everyone sees this or not, but no community guideline strikes. So I don't have any against me. Like I said, I did get the one at the start, but when I asked them to review it, they did, and they took it away. And then Yes, so this is a great one. Within the first few days, it was days of the video going up. It did this massive 6,300 views, and then it's been dead the whole time. So I believe with like your good channels, you put up good content and it'll continue to uptick over time. Whereas mine's all short based. It hits the short stream like 3 to 4 days after I put the video up, and I'm not gonna get that traffic again. That I see it once and it's gone for good. So that's been, yeah, a moment. So the shorts, yeah, don't really make people stick around. Uh, but that's fine. Average duration on the shorts, not a lot of people are gonna like it. So it's 37% watched. I don't know what other people's stats are, but I imagine that you definitely want like 40 to 50% as a baseline, and hopefully your average is higher. So 12 seconds on a 33-second video, I'll take it. It was machine generated. It was actually a relatively good one in this case. Um, the YouTube APIs, they are great. They were actually really easy to get up and running and working, and then point allocations kind of killed me because I can only upload, I think it's 3 videos a day using the points that they give you for anything that you write as an integration. And then I tried to do something to do with titles and description updating, and it just, yeah, points ran out too quickly. So that ended up not being a path, and it kind of killed the full automation route that I hoped on taking. But I got most of the other stuff done. I did mention, yeah, I got really good at dropping 15 videos into upload because that's the maximum amount of videos you can upload at a time. And then I was pulling off the descriptions from the text files. I did have another format that has those text files with proper line breaks and everything. And then you copy, paste, copy, paste. For a long time, I was putting on end cards with a subscription and popular video link. Um, and then it's just, yeah, the amount of time that I was taking to add the end cards, even if it does the little, machine learning where it tells you we can add the end cards that you normally do on, or add it from your last video. And that didn't work so well it worked fine for me, but it took too long. And what I did was I actually ended up putting a channel watermark on. So instead of a channel logo in the bottom of the video, I now have a subscription button there, which works a lot better. Is this new enough, old enough? Oh, can maybe go back to the video I just uploaded. Date added, newest first. There we go. Our video
The
that we
time I
uploaded.
uploaded.
So you'll see there is a subscribe link over here, and you can click to subscribe. Oh, sorry for the super scroll. Let's get back to where we were. I think we're almost done. So other things, yeah, getting all those videos uploaded every day, that's kind of the biggest hurty bit. And then the other thing is people always mention the YouTube algorithm, and yeah, this was painful to work with, because you have articles that you think are great and you want them to go up, and then they just don't get hits and you don't get the views. But I can kind of stumble along on my 10%, that if it doesn't hit the short stream, then I'll still get those views. So where to from here? Yeah, very happy to have learned about Python, Bash scripting, FFmpeg, the machine learning frameworks, Docker, YouTube, text-to-speech engines, actually a bit of what goes into writing the older school text-to-speech engines, and pretty much driving the operating system with automation like Selenium and Qt scripts. Those were a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for staying with me for this video, reading the article if you did, watching my videos if you do. And yeah, it's just subscriber growth all the way since the beginning of March or mid-March, when I started the channel properly and started uploading on a daily basis. You can see the subs. There's my infamous no man's zone in the middle, no views, no subs, all the way up to like over 570 now. And if you want to see the spoiler version, here's the automatically generated of my uploaded 3,000 videos to YouTube, which talked all about the speech generation rather than the actual summary that I wanted it to, which does happen from time to time. But yeah, that's pretty much this project in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the project. Thanks a lot for watching, and cheers.